Hi, I'm Bill and welcome to my channel. Today's video is really geared towards something that a person that may be researching getting into deep sky object imaging, or maybe they've made the decision and now they want to identify some vendors. I went through that process. Had to do the research. As part of the research, I identified some vendors that might be appropriate for me to work with. So that's basically what this presentation is about. I do share at the end my roadmap with some pricing and how I kind of built my roadmap for gear acquisition. But first, I would like to start with this book here. Um, this is a great book. I wish I had had this book 5 weeks ago when I was sitting in this chair 5, 6 weeks ago doing all this research, long hours in a day. I've had this book for 2 days. I've read the first two chapters. I spent, $35 for it on Amazon, I believe. I've got my money back. And there's still a lot of chapters left. Just a quick peek ahead. Seems there's a lot of information on Pix Insight in here. So that's kind of interesting as well. And maybe I'll go into that in a future video. I knew when I was doing my research that I could either purchase from private parties or I could purchase from online retailers. Both of them have pluses and minuses. I kind of list them there in that slide. Private party, oftentimes, as I go into what I purchased, warranty is not transferable, so that's one of the biggest options. Again, with purchasing retail, online retailers, oftentimes there's financing available. You can use credit cards and those type of things. A little bit about my private party purchase. I purchased an HEQ5 Pro from a person a couple of neighborhoods over from where I'm currently living. It's an opportunity that became aware to me through cloudy nights. Even if you're just researching getting into this area, put cloudy nights on your radar. Excellent forum, really active, a lot of good different subject areas within the forum. But anyway, I was looking for an HEQ5, wanted to purchase it new. The $1,195 looked like a good deal to me. The payload capacity of 30 pounds seemed like it would work for me, in particular as a beginner. But everywhere I looked in the retailers, they were not available. So that led me to the HEQ6, but that was $400 more. It was also heavier. I wanted to stay a little lighter. So in a way, through a post, I kind of shared this on cloudy nights, and somebody contacted me and said, hey, I have a new in the box HEQ5. Would you be interested in it? And so then we put together the deal. The biggest thing about the deal that made me go forward, there was two things. One, the person said they'd let me have the item for 60 days. Again, because the warranty was not transferable from them as a private party to me. And within that 60 days, if there was any issues, they'd give me the money back. So that was made me feel comfortable. The other thing is, when I buy used, I always try to figure out what is the worst case, what is the biggest loss I can experience. And in this case, I said, as hard of a bullet it would be to bite, if I lost $900, I'm fortunate enough right now that that wouldn't force me to move out of my house or anything. So I was willing to accept the risk of possibly losing $900. So just a couple of details about my purchase there. Again, the biggest takeaway is the lack of transferable warranty. So when you're buying used, you might want to take that into consideration and maybe work something out with the seller that you can return it for X number of days once you receive the item if there's any issues. Now I'm going to go into the three vendors I use to make my purchases. Again, I'm not making a recommendation of one over the other. This is basically just my experience. I'm showing you what I bought through each vendor, and I'm also identifying the cost. So if you're researching and trying to figure out what is all this stuff going to cost you, again, I'll show you that, how I did in my roadmap at the end, but this will give you some idea of the cost of some of the items. So OPT, they're in Southern California. I'm in Northern California. Clearly, I've purchased the most items through OPT, But that's driven in part by two things. One, they have the items in stock. The second thing is my perception that I might get them delivered faster to me because they're located in just 500 miles south of me. I don't know if that's true or not, but all the items I've purchased from them, except the most recent one I purchased today, have been received within 10 days. And this is over the holiday period and everything. So I was really pleased with their response in shipping the items out. Everything was well packaged. I love to see that when I'm receiving stuff from a vendor. I've purchased from other vendors before and the stuff wasn't packaged well, the box is damaged and those type of things. Everything was in great shape. Again, the delivery times met my expectation. And while I did not finance, if you go to their site, you'll see prominently displayed that they offer financing. Fortunately, I'm fortunate enough to be able to finance this myself right now. The second vendor is High Point Scientific. They're located in New Jersey. And here's the items I purchased through them. Again, their delivery time was excellent. Everything arrived well packaged. And on their site, they say they offer financing. I am clearly going to use them again. I clearly use OPT again. And then that brings us into the third vendor I've used, and that's Agena Astro products, located again in Southern California, Cerritos, California. I looked at High Point Scientific and also OPT, and my recollection was they did not have the ZWO-ASI 120mm Mini in stock, but across all three vendors, the price was the same at $139. So while I oftentimes like to get all my purchases through one vendor, I went ahead and said, okay, I registered, got an online account, and purchased through Agena. And again, they were initially quoting like 10 days, and I believe they got the product to me in 4 or 5. So I was very pleased about that. Again, very well packaged. I didn't see any display of financing available on their site, so if that's something you're looking for through a vendor, maybe call Agena if they have something you're looking for and find out whether or not they actually will do any financing. The fourth vendor was a vendor I did research. They're European-based in Germany. I read a lot of reviews about people that purchased through them. Very good marks in that sense from people who have purchased from them. Also, I believe that they either manufacture or have someone manufacture telescopes where they put their brand on it. I looked at the pricing at some of their scopes, very competitive, very good reviews on their scopes, and they do ship to the United States. I chose not to use them because everything I needed was available within an online retailer, reseller within the United States. But I wanted to call this vendor out for anyone that may be in Europe. It might be a place you want to check out for your purchases. Just a quick mention about supply chain constraints. They're causing delays. I mean, I think everybody has experienced some delay related to COVID and the challenges we face. It may not be in the telescope area because you haven't purchased one or tried to purchase one yet. But when I was looking around trying to price items out to establish my budget, I found an item that I was really interested in. Like I thought this William Optics Red Cat 51 would be my first scope. They're not available. Very popular. And what you see is something like in the lower corner. This item has an extended wait list or back ordered. And look at that. They're saying like 4 weeks and up to 2 to 3 months. I mean, that's just the current state of the supply chain. And really, there was a good and bad to that. While I bought the Zenith Star it's a William Optics scope, I bought the Zenith Star 61. I really bought it because it was in stock. Other telescopes that I might have wanted were not. So maybe it helped me make my decision on that scope. I'm sure I'm going to be very pleased with it once I get it up and doing data acquisition. So a lot of supply chain constraints, and I read a really thoughtful article from a reseller about what they're experiencing trying to service a customer base where these supply chain constraints are very disruptive. They're not getting stock from the manufacturers and those type of things. I'm amazed at what some of the resellers are doing, and that really kind of put into perspective, how fortunate I feel getting the quick response from Agena, High Point Scientific, and OPT. And so, again, while I'm not preferring one vendor over the other, I just wanted to make those aware to you. If you're thinking about sourcing a vendor, you might want to consider them if you're in the U.S. And if you're European based, well, then maybe Teleskop Services might be a place to start to look. That kind of brings us to my gear acquisition roadmap 2020 and 2021. What I did as I was researching was identifying items that I might land on as far as a purchase. I built a real simple spreadsheet, and I would just list the item out so I could go back to it and find it, what the model was, who the vendor was, and what the cost would be. Everything above the yellow line are things that I've purchased within the last 3 or 4 weeks, I think, with the most recent acquisition being the QHY Polemaster. You need this HEQ5 adapter for my German equatorial mount. And I made a decision to purchase this because there's a viewer named Jeff who put a comment in one of the videos recommending that I purchase this product. I decided to go ahead and purchase it. This is what I enjoy about having a YouTube channel, is the comments that I get from the viewers really help me out. And so thank you, Jeff, for making that comment and that suggestion, that recommendation that I purchased that. I'm looking forward to getting it. When I do get it, I'll make a video on it as I'm using it as part of trying to do a polar alignment. So anyway, if you're researching getting into deep sky object imaging, or you've decided to get into it and you want some additional information about pricing and products and those type of things, and what vendors you might be able to work with, I hope this content has been helpful to you. Again, I'm a beginner. I'm located in San Mateo, California, under Class 8 Bortle skies, or Bortle Class 8 skies. That means it's a very light polluted here. I'm just trying to get to the phase of where I can start data acquisition with the gear I've already purchased. So again, I hope you find this helpful. If you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. As always, I welcome new subscribers, and comments and questions really are what drive the channel and let each of us learn in the process. So thank you for dropping into the channel. Till next time.